What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. The first night of Wrestlemania is done and dusted, and we're eager to see night 2. But before we get to, let's look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including The Undertaker looking to retire, fallout from WrestleMania's Boneyard match, as Roman Reigns got heat backstage, and some cancelled plans from WrestleMania. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. But let's waste no further time and get straight into the first story, as The Undertaker might be looking to retire. Could the Boneyard match be The Undertaker's last ride? Consider these comments made by Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio. There's a lot of talk that The Undertaker wanted to retire on a good note because he's had these bad matches. If that's the case, this would be the way to retire. If you watch WrestleMania's first night, you likely saw the commercial for the WWE's upcoming Last Ride documentary on The Undertaker. Could this be a hint that Taker is finally hanging up his boots? It wouldn't surprise us, as Taker wanted to really redeem himself from the Goldberg match. It's the reason why he wanted to wrestle AJ Styles. While AJ Styles' incorporation of high-flying action and submission wrestling may have seemed like a clash of styles, no pun intended against The Undertaker, the dead man specifically wanted to wrestle AJ. According to ESPN's Mark Raimondi, Kurt Angle told me Undertaker was talking to him recently, disappointed in his Goldberg match and wanting to redeem himself. Angle said, "The first thing I said to him was, what about wrestling AJ Styles? It'll be the best match you've had in years." Angle's words proved prophetic, as many fans are calling the Boneyard match an instant classic, with the speciality bout hiding Taker's age-related limitations and showcasing his skills as the American badass. Even fans turned off by the match's cinematic style were happy to see Undertaker look so good. But what about that Boneyard match? What was the WWE Superstars' reaction to it? Now, while WrestleMania 36's first night had fans talking with its various matches, including Braun Strowman's Universal Championship win over Goldberg, the big talk is about The Undertaker's Boneyard match against AJ Styles, a match that was not only shot like a movie, but looked like one. While fans' reactions seem to be polarized in that they either loved the match or hated it, everyone seems to agree it was unlike anything they've seen. Of course, anyone familiar with the career of Broken Matt Hardy will recall Hardy's famous The Final Deletion match against Jeff Hardy, a similarly shot match that incorporated cinematic elements to make for a new approach to wrestling matches. So what did Matt, who recently left the WWE for AEW, think of the match? My Twitter feed exploded. Thanks for all the love, folks. I'm truly honored. Cinematic matches 100% work with the right characters, scenario, and fan base. I envisioned them as a new branch of pro wrestling years ago, much like TLC did. The broken universe will leave its mark. Matt wasn't the only WWE superstar who took note of the match and the possibilities therein. WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley tweeted, "An urgent appeal to Vince McMahon." Foley added a short video asking, "Mr. McMahon, may I please be in next year's Boneyard match?" As Wrestlelamia noted in our recap of WrestleMania 36's first night, the match offers possibilities for older superstars whose skills may not be what they once were. If only the WWE had done something similar for Goldberg. But what do you guys think of the Boneyard match, and would you like to see more matches like this? Let us know your comments down below. Next up is WWE Upset with Roman Reigns. The WWE had to change up one of its biggest matches when Roman Reigns decided to pull out of his Universal Championship match against Bill Goldberg. Given Reigns' compromised immune system, it's easy to understand why he didn't want to perform at this year's showcase of the Immortals. Nonetheless, Dave Meltzer discussed the situation on the Wrestling Observer Radio, suggesting the WWE may be mad at Reigns based on how there was no mention of Reigns made at WrestleMania's first night. Maybe they're mad at him and they have no right to be. It's either they're mad at him or they're just trying to hide it as much as they can and they don't want to deal with it. It's hard to tell what is going on in the mind of Vince McMahon or the yes men he surrounds himself with. This is a situation that will have to play out over time before we really know whether the big dog is in the WWE doghouse. Next up, a possible spoiler for WrestleMania Night 2. Okay guys, this next story involves a possible spoiler, so if you want to skip ahead, please check out the timestamps in the description. So here's a potential spoiler for the SmackDown Women's Championship match, but as with any social media posts, take it with a healthy dose of skepticism given the WWE's fondness for working the fans on social media platforms. Ringside News' Felix Upton is reporting, "It seems like Sasha Banks may have accidentally given something away. She uploaded an image on Instagram and then she quickly deleted it. Her nails matched the style she had in photos taken last week, and we've never seen that ring gear either." Another interesting thing to note is that the boss is holding the SmackDown Women's title in that photo. We'll know soon whether this was a mistake or a red herring designed to get fans talking. Considering Vince McMahon's promise to fire anyone who leaked match results, Wrestlelamia is doubtful this is anything other than a ruse. There's also the idea that Vince McMahon has gone for a feel-good moment for both nights of WrestleMania. Now, of course, this is all speculation, but that could mean that Drew McIntyre will win the WWE Championship tonight. WWE had the feel-good moment of The Undertaker winning his Boneyard match, and Braun Strowman defeating Goldberg for the Universal Championship. Not to mention Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defeating the Kabuki Warriors. Next up, Becky Lynch talks her next opponent. While Becky Lynch just finished her toughest title defense to date, the man seems to be looking for a next challenge. Whoever wants to come at me, they know where to find me. They know that I'm there on Raw every single Monday. I don't miss any time. I don't take time off. I don't get hurt. I'm sturdy. Now there's a wealth of talent coming up from NXT. There's an after WrestleMania. That's always exciting to see who is going to join the main roster, who is going to step up to the challenge. She said she'd be open to a rematch with Shayna Baszler, and considering how close the Queen of Spades came to winning, that seems like a good place to start. Next up, Braun Strowman is grateful for Goldberg. Braun Strowman finally grabbed the elusive brass ring he's been chasing for the last few years, defeating Bill Goldberg for the Universal Championship. The newly crowned champion spoke with WWE Digital about his win, saying, "I don't even believe it's real. This is something that so many people have told me that I would never achieve. So many people told me that I didn't deserve it because of what I've been through in life and things like that. This is proof right here that no matter what, if you work your butt off for something you believe in and dream, you can achieve anything. Right here is the proof that you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it." It's been a long road, but Strowman is finally champ. The Monster Among Men tweeted, "It's real. The Universal title is in these hands. Thank you Goldberg and the WWE Universe who always supported." While it's unknown whether the WWE had any plans for putting the Universal Championship on Strowman in the future, he's champion now and hopefully the WWE will give him a shot to shine in the main event. Strowman wouldn't be the first wrestler to become champion due to unforeseen circumstances, and this could be the lucky break he's been looking for a long time. Next up, projected return dates for live events. As the current health crisis continues, fans are wondering when they'll be able to enjoy their favourite sporting events in person. WWE Hall of Famer and US President Donald Trump spoke with sports commissioners and executives via conference call to discuss when live events may resume. According to ESPN and Heel by Nature, Trump also said he hopes to have fans back in the stadiums and arenas by August and September, sources said, though it is currently unclear if medical experts find that to be a realistic timeline amid the current coronavirus pandemic. Trump noted the idea that leagues could lobby for entertainment tax credits, deducting taxes from concessions and tickets. August would mean the WWE could potentially run SummerSlam, its first major show with fans since the Royal Rumble. But as noted in the story, WWE has cancelled all events for the month of April and expects to cancel their next pay-per-view after WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, which is scheduled for 10th May in Baltimore. It should prove interesting to see how the WWE manages to tape its weekly television with so many states imposing stay-at-home orders, but according to sources, they have a secret venue planned for tapings. We'll just have to see what comes out of that. Next up, WrestleMania reportedly retaped repeatedly. With WrestleMania 36 enjoying the luxury of being pre-taped, the WWE was able to edit out mistakes and enhance the show with clever editing. However, according to Dave Meltzer, Vince McMahon made sure there were zero mistakes, taking things to the extremes anyone familiar with the WWE Kingpin would expect. The matches were taped and edited and redone. There was stuff where I don't know if it was the matches tonight, but I do know there were matches done last week where when there was like a missed spot, it was like cut, stop, let's redo it. As fans have noted, the WWE didn't leave any room for botches, but apparently the Melts felt McMahon may have taken things too far. It is taped pro wrestling, but when you're doing taped pro wrestling, you don't do cut, stop, redo. This thing was a lot more, there was a lot. There was editing on a lot of matches. According to several news sources, the WWE worked long hours taping Mania, and if this story is true, the WWE superstars deserve that rest. And finally, some cancelled plans. The WWE likes to bring in WWE legends to surprise the fans at WrestleMania, and there was talk of the immortal Hulk Hogan showing up at this year's showcase of the Immortals. Unfortunately for Hulkamaniacs, that didn't appear to be the case. According to Ringside News, they learned that Hulk Hogan did not appear as part of the WrestleMania 36. There was talks to have him come in, but negotiations fell apart. The rumor is that the Hulkster was supposed to do a talk show segment. The popular story was a peep show with Christian. It would have been cool to see this happen, but it wasn't meant to be. This may have been the best given the Hulkster's age and recommendations that older individuals should do everything possible to protect themselves from the ongoing health crisis. But there you have it guys, some news before night 2 of WrestleMania 36. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.